Hello, MJ traders and investors. It's Rod with Powell Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Monday, March 29th, and we're going to do an MJ sector review, and we're going to focus on Auxly. The stock of the day, we had some news out. They're going to be upgrading from the Toronto Stock Venture Exchange to the Toronto Stock Exchange. So the stock will be graduating. We'll look at some other news and events, and we'll look at the US and Canadian cannabis sectors as well. So before we do, make sure to smash the like and subscribe to the channel. So Auxly receives conditional approval to graduate from the Toronto Stock Exchange Venture to the Toronto Stock Exchange. So its common shares will be listed on the TSX. And the CEO said that this is a significant milestone after an incredibly successful Cannabis 2.0 launch last year and our strategic expansion into Cannabis 1.0 in 2021. We believe that uplisting to the TSX is the next logical step in our corporate growth. So stock was up big today in response to that news. Moving on to some other news and events, New York's leaders agreed to legalize MJ use at the recreational level and adult use level. So that's going to be potentially voted on tomorrow, and we could see some more. They want to rush this as quickly as they possibly can, and a lot of other states are showing some of that progress as well. So it's looking up in the MJ space, but a little concerning that stocks weren't really moving today in relation to that. We are seeing some bearish patterns on the charts, which we'll bring up here in just a second. So Horizon's ETF rebalances MJ Focus Index ETFs. They added these companies here. So Grow Generation is one that stands out. Namaste Technologies, Rubicon Organics, WeedMD, and Zenabis Global. And they added HMUS as well. So they added Body and Mind, Australis Capital. Body and Mind's one that I really like as well. High Tide, Harborside, Green Lane Holdings, Next Green Wave, Vireo. So you can check out that article in its entirety for some more details. Auxly also has earnings coming out today, but we haven't seen anything yet on that, but they are scheduled for today. But again, haven't seen anything yet on CEDAR or anything press releases from the company. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Let me know in the comments below if you do happen to come across those financials. Zenabis is also due to report financials today, but again, haven't seen those numbers out yet. So let us know in the comments below if you do see that. 48 North Cannabis ends outdoor production amid Canada's supply glut. So they shut down the MJ production at its farm in Brant County, and that was the outdoor facility. And this comes after a major supply glut. And just taking a look here, they plan to cut their workforce by about 20%, and this will save more than 5 million Canadian dollars, 4 million US in annualized fixed operating costs. So seeing some downsizing there and some selling of assets with 48 North. Expanding AYR acquires New Jersey Medical MJ Company as well. So a multi-state operator for 101 million of GSD NJ, a vertically integrated medical cannabis company. 41 million in cash, 30 million in stock, 30 million in form of promissory notes. So moving on to Auxly. So it was up over 10% today. Stock responding very well to that news. Again, we haven't seen the earnings out yet today, so keeping an eye on those, but we are still looking for a daily trend change. Just like most names, this move all came off the low of 30 cents. So from 30 to 41, we didn't have any support. So now we're just consolidating, and it's a long drawn out consolidation phase here, but we're looking for a higher low compared to 30 cents. And if we break above 41, that'll confirm a daily uptrend and that our weekly higher low is set. And then we can be looking up to the recent highs at 51 and beyond. So we have 41 first and then 51 after that. And just taking a look at the hourly chart. So this move's all coming off the lows here. We haven't yet changed the hourly trend, but bull's got lots of room to form that hourly higher low and attempt a trend change. But we need to see that hourly uptrend confirm as well to be confident that the daily higher low is set. So taking a look at the 10-week moving average, we are back above that at 35.8 cents. The MACD and stochastic are essentially just flat, not really sure which way it wants to go at the moment. So we'll see how we end the week. In terms of the moving averages, we are over the 50 weekly moving average. We found resistance at the 100 weekly moving average, and now we're just sandwiched between those two. So support at 30, resistance at 49. On the daily, We are holding, we lost the 50-day moving average, but we held the 100, and now we're reclaiming the 50-day moving average. So that is good to see. Bulls wanted to regain that as quickly as possible. And if we do see further consolidation or market weakness in the overall broader market, we could be heading down to the 28.4 cent level, which is the 200 DMA. So for an overview of the broader market, make sure to check out my video from earlier. And that one's titled "The Dollar is on a Runaway," and that's because the dollar just relentlessly continues to see higher lows every day. So we'll be watching the US dollar as well. Very important factor going into the end of the week. Taking a look at the weekly chart here on Auxly again. So we're holding the weekly VWAP, and we're also holding the 20 weekly moving average. And taking a look at the monthly chart, we're also sandwiched here in between the monthly VWAP and the 20 moving average. So we'll see which way we break tomorrow. And taking a look at the rest of this sector, so we had Namaste Technologies, so again probably up on that news that it was added to the HMMJ ETF. And taking a look at the bear list, we had PCLO, CanTrust, OGI, Huge, and Zenabis. So most names are still consolidating on their daily time frames, just looking for these daily higher lows, and there's no signs of it yet. We're seeing another red day today, and daily inside bar here on APHA, so support at 1667, resistance at 1832. We'll be watching that going into tomorrow. CGC, so Canopy broke its low of Friday, but not by much. Hexo, did we lose the low of Friday? No, we did not. We held it by 1 penny. So daily inside bars on watch going into tomorrow. SNDL looks like we have an inside bar as well. So resistance at 124, support at 110. So moving on to the US space. So taking a look at MSOS, we highlighted this in the video from last week that we could see a head and shoulders. And if that were to confirm, we'd be looking at a price level of around $30. So between $30 and $35 is what I'm expecting. I don't think we're going to see a huge sell-off because of the political landscape and the reform in the US and all of those changes that are bullish for the sector. I see those catalysts as a dip that people are going to be very, very eager to buy. So we have EMA 26 down at 37.34. So that could be another bounce point as well, but keeping an eye on these patterns, these bearish patterns that we're seeing. We also had a daily bear flag that confirmed, and we closed near the low of the day. We lost 40.80 support, closed underneath of it. We have support at 40.33 and $40 psychological. Also this gap in the chart here at 38.57. That will be on deck. We also have these previous highs here at 38.90. So 39, I will likely add a bit to my long-term no touch on a loss of $40. We're also heading to daily oversold, and we didn't quite get there yet today, so I'd be expecting a daily oversold bounce here, maybe on a flush of 40 and a gap fill there at 38.57. But you better believe there'll be a lot of people looking to buy that dip, I myself included. So VREO, TerraSend, GTII led the decline today. On the bull list, we had, looks like BioHarvest and BAM and Harv. So BAM saw a nice day after some weakness. We had a low of 62. The low of Friday was 64. So we did break the low of Friday, but bulls bought the dip and nice recovery there. So in summary, keep an eye on the MSOS chart. We could see head and shoulders confirm. We could see the daily bear flag see further follow through, and keep an eye on that $40 and gap fill area. Again, all sectors, all signs pointing to further downside. So make sure you prepare for the worst case scenario, and it can always go a lot lower than you think. Thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth for an MJ Market Recap, and we'll see you tomorrow after market close. Take care.